Welcome once again. What we are is spirit, imagining that we're a body. And we hold this inquiry in satsang in order to just examine the situation carefully. Ask the right questions, make the right inquiry, look in the right direction, pay attention in the right places, give up search that yields nothing, give up futility, give up impossibility, let go of futility and despair and frustration. And it happens almost imperceptibly. What we do is we keep reinvesting our energy and our efforts into deeper and deeper inquiry. So it seems like we're tired all the time. We don't necessarily get there, because we're always reinvesting everything we've got back into greater and greater inquiry. We don't want to rest on our laurels, pat ourselves on the back and say, that's enough. No, have to keep going. And we're spurred on at this time by the building crescendo of events in the world, the building instability in the world, and the underlying rot of how people have composed their attitudes, have set up their reactions, reactivity. We're getting into a very touchy situation in the world as more and more people are educated and empowered to feel insulted and hurt and embarrassed and uncomfortable and violated and all this stuff. The more the population of the world feels entitled to not be bothered, to have everything go their way, the more the seeds of conflict are sown here in existence. We're getting to the point now where we just don't like the way someone looks at us. That's enough. Just imagine that on a global scale. Everybody becoming more and more sensitive, more and more outraged when their feelings are hurt, more and more activist when things aren't exactly the way that they want them to be right now. So we have this we have no breaks at all, no breaks anymore. As the older generations pass away, where you're taught, don't take offense, turn the other cheek, don't feel insulted. When they are being replaced with those who have cultivated an entire persona based upon feeling like the world is supposed to do exactly what they want it to do. And if it doesn't, somebody has to pay for that. What exactly is such an attitude headed towards except confrontation? The teaching, turn the other cheek, is very, very, very important. We literally were trained not to take offense at any insult. No matter what anyone says about you, you just smile and move on. Let go, keep moving. All right, no offense. It's the opposite right now. So where is that going to lead? Where is all this going, It can't possibly be going in a good direction, can it? It has to be going towards conflict. Because a powerful group will get in control and look out in the world and they say, wow, we got the power now to make sure everybody does what we want them to do and doesn't offend us in any way. And eventually we're at the emperor has no clothes type of thing, where nobody dares say what needs to be said. Now these videos are a last gasp effort to say what needs to be said before it becomes prohibitively dangerous, unwise to say what needs to be said. We're so rapidly heading into this massive totalitarian system of tyranny, loss of freedom. And people are willingly surrendering it, thinking they're gaining security from it. And so we're so rapidly heading in that direction that we need to just as rapidly, if not more rapidly, head in the direction of the living light, you see, and accepting the living light into our lives, making room for it, making room at the end, saying we've got some space for that. Come on in, come on down. Tell them what they won, Johnny. And what we've won is freedom. What we've won is safety. What we've won is salvation. The living light brings all of that to us. And we had better get there fast, because the opposite is reaching their agenda very, very fast. All over the world. We might call it generation entitlement is seizing control. And what are they entitled to? They feel they're entitled to whatever they say they're entitled to. Of course, it's all under the banner of greater efficiency, greater productivity, better economic recovery. It's always flying under all sorts of banners, always. Tyranny just doesn't announce itself as tyranny. It always announces itself as improvement, as recovery, as something really righteous and good, always. But you just better not disagree with it. So 2012, the end of 2012 has always been held up, as far as long as I can remember, as a pivotal point in the history of this planet and our experience here. And it looks like everything is right on track. And we need to be right on track to allow the living light into our awareness. And we are on track. We are on track, but we have to continue to run. It's like when you're running a course and you get pretty close to the finish line. You have to keep running. I used to go running up through the hills, and you do all the up part, the steep up part, the steep down part, and then you hit this. The last part is kind of flat, and you just have to run it out. Even though you're very tired, run it out. We've done the hard work already. We just have to run it out now. Cross the finish line, put it on a burst of speed. When we see the finish line coming, that is when the burst of speed, no matter how tired we are, just to see it coming, we're able to put on a burst of speed and cross it, all the way through, run through the finish line. So we are literally in a race with time. with 2012, with late December 2012. We're in a race with that time. Every day is ticking away. And we need to be in the light at that time, okay? Which is why this video has the head in the light. We have to be in the light by that time. In the light by end of 2012. That's the safe move. That's the safe thing to do. That's the wise thing to do. That's the obvious thing to do. And we can do it. It's not impossible because we're focusing on it. We're focusing on it all the time. We're saying, yes, we can, yes, we can, yes, we can. That's the real yes, we can, isn't it? That's the real hope and change. We can be in the light by the end of 2012. I mean, does anyone really think after the USA elections that anyone's going to be happy? Half the country is going to be jubilant, the other half is going to be foaming at the mouth. There isn't, at this point, any more middle ground. The agendas are being staked out, and it's clear that there are two different directions being offered. And each direction leaves the other feeling very unhappy about it. And so, by the end of 2012, this year, there's going to be extreme ferment. At the very least, there's going to be extreme ferment. You can mark that down right now as a certainty that this election is not going to bring peace and happiness and calm and all of that. Just the opposite, no matter what happens. There's going to be trouble. So that's a given. And that's just one of myriads of various situations that can arise. That's the least of our worries. So, time to live in the light. Okay? Time to live in the light. Live in the light. We're aiming to live in the light. We invite the light in. We invite the light in. That is what we need to do. And I'm always praying for those who have let the light in, that they show up, if there are any here in this world that have done so. But if they don't, they don't. We have to do it anyway. Let the light in. That's our prayer. Give the prayers. Or say, come on in, light. You're welcome to come on in at this time. It's a huge step forward because we're abandoning, the belief that in process here in this world, that there's something we can do here in this world that is going to bring peace, etc. We know beyond a shadow of doubt, again, no matter what the outcome of the election is, the cat is playing with something here. Come on. Okay. The cat is creating a disturbance. Okay. No matter what the result of the election is, there's not going to be any peace. No way. No way. It's going to be an enormous struggle. At the very best, it'll be an enormous power struggle. So there's nothing we can do to change that. Let's start there. There's nothing we can do to change that. Let's be honest. Who among us believes that someone can stand up and give a speech and everybody will clap and say, "Oh, okay, now we're convinced that we're going to have peace and we're not going to be upset by whatever happened and we'll all work together, everything will be fine." Who among us believes that this could actually take place? It's not going to take place. It's impossible that it take place. The divisions are seared into everyone. The directions are totally opposite. And the stakes are so high. The stakes are the future of civilization and society right now. And whoever is able to enforce their will and power will be, the heads of civilization. They don't realize the troubles that are coming across the world, but they're kind of like a dog fight. The dogs, don't realize that the dog catcher is coming as they're fighting it out. It's kind of like that. I mean, we've got this dog fight going on, and the dogs are so engrossed in the dog fight they're not even aware that the dog catcher is coming down the street and is going to get both of them. Stupid. If they weren't fighting, they would sit back and say, "Wow, we need to get out of here." The dog catcher in this case is problems with the sun that are coming up. And certainly one option is to accept translation into the real world. That's the option I'm saying is the best option. So let us invite the light. Invite the light into our lives. Even though, the darkness is here remains in the world and the struggles and the fights, etc., we realize we cannot stop those. It's beyond repair. There'll just be some way to clamp down on everyone and, severe draconian situations to try and control people. I shudder to even think about the future in this world. So we can't stop it. We can't change it. Let us instead invite the light in. Invite the light in. Invite the light in. If we just turn in that direction, I think we'll feel relief. Invite the living light in. Invite it in and say, "Here's a little place for you. Come stay with me. Stay with me here now. I want you to show up." This is symbolized in some religions by light, candles. Some have a little altar with a flame that they keep that flame burning. That symbolizes the living light, and that their willingness that it come into their lives. I think Hinduism has a lot of that. Keeping the flame alive is very important. It symbolizes the living light. It's a symbol of it. And in the churches here, we have the candles burning, symbolizing that living light, opposed to the natural light of the sun, something different. And so we don't need to symbolize it. We don't have to symbolize it. We just simply do it. Let the light itself come. Wow, like that? What happened there? Huh. Suddenly the whole screen went white. Nice. I didn't do that. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, let the light in. Let it come. Invite it. Invite it. Invite it. We'll try to do more and more of that. Focus in on that. Invite the light in. Come on in. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Not to fix the problems of the world, but to get us ready to transcend the world, really, to shift into the real world. Because the fights here are they're fights to the death, really, on this planet. Because people don't see any option. And, wow. Polarization is so severe, and the lack of brakes is so severe, and the entitlement is so severe, and the, sensitivity, everybody's so sensitive, oh my gosh, so sensitive. If you say anything that anyone disagrees with, they're bound to label you with some extremely pejorative label, like you've hurt them through and through. Their spirit has been mangled because of what you said, something like that. So, and there's no drawing back. Once you jump the shark, once you educate generations of young people in certain ways, once you have certain laws in place, etc., there's no going back. There's no more brakes. The brakes are gone. Once your brakes go out on a vehicle, you're going to have to find some other way to stop. Brakes do go out on vehicles. I recounted another video that this happened to someone I know, driving a big truck full, loaded down with heavy wood. Brakes went out. He couldn't just say, well, keep hitting the brakes. Where are the brakes? Where are the brakes? Where are the brakes? Didn't do any good. They're gone. They are gone. And he when you're going, 60 miles an hour, you can't stop and repair the brakes. First, you got to come to a stop before you can repair the brakes. So, he just threw it into a ditch and smashed it into some trees. Once a world loses its brakes, there's no way to stop. Short of just, extreme pileup, extreme smash up. Everybody is just trying to grab everything they can. It's like a power grab right now. And that happens. That's what happens when you lose spirituality, when you lose touch with the essence of religion, the essence of spiritual teachings. The essence is that the living light of God saves us. When you lose touch with that central truth, you think then you have to work out your own salvation here in existence, which leads to then people trying to control the people, grabbing power as much as they can. Everybody, it's an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and a dogfight ensues. The brakes are gone, and we have literally lost our brakes through many baby steps. The stress of living here has been seeing all these baby steps being taken and commenting about them, saying, hey, don't take that step. And people will say, it's just a little step, don't worry about it. The road to hell is paved with these little steps, with these little baby steps. Thousands of them, millions of them. Step by step by step. It's like a flood. How does a flood occur? A lot of little raindrops. A lot. And that's what we have. We've had so many little steps, unchecked. Because everybody's saying, why are you making such a big deal out of a little step? I'm saying because it then makes it easier to take another step, which makes it easier to take another step. And why take any steps in the wrong direction? Really? It can't lead to anything good going in the wrong direction. Forgetting truth? How can that be good? The world has really lost its mind, lost its common sense entirely. I'm thinking about, I read something about the campus clubs, how everybody has to be let into every single club, and everybody can preside, be the presiding officer of any club, So an atheist could be the presiding president of a Christian club, for instance. It makes it ludicrous. And a Christian, conversely, could be the presiding president and set the agenda of an atheist club. That's the law. It's completely stupid. We have lost our minds. You live by the law, you die by the law. Common sense is the highest law. Should be. Reason should be the highest law. Common sense should be the highest law. And when we start using technicalities and ideals, etc., it's no good. It's no good. Just 1 second here. Just 1 second. All right. So the world has lost common sense, lost their common denominator of like, where are we going? What do we want to do with the world? We've lost it. And then you end up in chaos. When you have all clubs open to all members without any distinction, and anybody can be in charge of anything else, then you just have a mad land rush, as a power grab. You have chaos. We've really, the laws, the rulings that we've had have set the world up for chaos. Which is what a lot of people want, because when under the cloak of chaos, they're able to seize enormous power under the guise of restoring order. So there are those who are just simply waiting in the wings. They have seen to it we've lost our common sense. We have extremely poor laws governing us now, and we've lost the will to fight back, and they're just waiting for the chaos so they can then step in and say, we're here to save you from this terrible chaos. Everybody's fighting. It's terrible. We're here to save you. And of course, then they get everybody to serve them and make them like gods. So we need to live in the light right now. We need to shift our living into the light, and realizing that the living light is our life. That this life in the world is not our life. Not our life at all. It's never been life. It's always been anti-life. It's been a lack of life. It's been a denial of life. It's been a charade of life, a facade of life, not even a facsimile. We need to reacquaint ourselves with our true life, and that's where we invite the living light in. Invite it in. And we can live like this. We can live in the light. It's not a problem. We still got our, still have the shirt on. It's not a problem. Not a problem. Just live in the light. And know that this is our true life. This is our true life. And the other anti-life is going to kick up a lot of dust. And we don't have to pay attention to that. It's very boring, very tiring. Not interested in that anymore. So live in the light. Invite the light into your life right now. In the traditions of various religions, they say, they make the altar call or be converted. Invite. What they're really saying is invite the light into your life right now, the living light. They give it different terminology. Some call it Christ, the living light. It's just a living light. It's a light that's alive. That's true life. And they say invite it into your life now. Well, that's a good thing to do. It's the right thing to do. But you don't have to set it into a religious context or a traditional context or anything like that. The light is the light. The living light is a living light. There is no fake of that at all. The fake of that is existence. And all this high-tech wizardry, that's the fake. the belief that somehow the light that we can generate through electricity, electromagnetism, all that, can be somehow life for us. It's not, cannot. The living light is not some electromagnetic dynamic at all. It's awareness, intelligence, creativity, life itself. So invite that light into your life. So we have to keep making the altar call for ourselves, being called up and saying, do you accept, the living light as your new life? We can say, yeah, we do, yes, we do. We go from yes, we can to yes, we do. And we'll do it, Because the alternative is getting too scary, really, A lot of people have been boasting about how liberated they are from tradition and outworn concepts and all this stuff, historic history, and they're free of that, and they're going into this bold new millennium, and they're going to, change everything and fix everything, blah, 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 blah. But when push comes to shove and things start getting really scary, they're going to come running back and say, oh, forget it, forget that, that's horrible. And I want to live in the light. I'm going to choose yes, I do, instead of yes, I can, as yes, I do. I do choose the living light instead of this monstrosity that we have in the world. The fake light, the fake world, all the fakery. So don't give up on anyone. Don't think that everybody's going to just, turn their back. When things get real bad, there'll be a moment of truth. And they'll say, oh boy, this is really, I was just kind of like, going along with the, peer pressure. I was just going along like peer pressure. I didn't really want to go along with this way. I just didn't. I wanted to seem to fit in. Peer pressure is so strong. Pressure of the world. I just wanted to get my paycheck. I wanted to get my health insurance. I didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to, cause any troubles for my life or my family or anything. So I just went along with this. But now I see that, that enough is enough. Forget this. I'm going back to truth. I'm going to say, yes, I do, to the living light. So we're just a little bit ahead of the curve here. Ahead of the curve. Doing it right now. So hopefully we can witness to others saying, yeah, this is the right thing to do. And again, the living light does not belong to anything other than itself. It is life. Doesn't matter what you call it. Nobody can copyright it. Nobody can own it. Who can own it? It belongs to all equally already. So who can own it? Nobody can own it. You can't slap a label on it and say that you own it. That's ridiculous. And the industrious throughout history have done that. They've taken the teaching and have tried to copyright it, have tried to restrict access, have say you have to go through us to get there. It's not true. You don't need to go through anyone to get there. You just say, yes, I do, to the living light, invite it into your life, and there it is with you. There's no cost, it's free. Living light is free. It doesn't need to buy water or food for itself. It itself is life. It's the essence that is life, its essence. So, can't be copyrighted. Don't think you can write a book and say, I'm the only one that knows about this living light, and you have to come to me and I'll hook you up with it, etc. It's just no need for any of that foolishness. There's no exclusivity whatsoever with the living light. Maybe there's only one person on the planet does it. That doesn't mean there's exclusivity at all. It just means that nobody else is willing to do it. Hopefully there'll be many. Hopefully there'll be very many. All right. I would say that for right now, that's enough. Remember, say, yes, I do. No more, yes, I can. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Come on in. Come on down, living light. And stay with me. Time to stay with me now. Not just pay me a visit, but to actually stay. We don't want to be sending the living light away right now. No way. Times are going to get way too crazy for that. We need it here to stay with us. All right, very great. That's it.